Welcome to Catamount Football with Coach Matt Land. I'm Bill Mayo, your host. And on this week's playoff edition, we're going to take a look back at Friday night's win versus Carver of Atlanta, and also talk a little bit about this week's upcoming game with the Sandy Creek Patriots. So stay right here, back with more Catamount Football in just a minute.
Got car problems? That's no problem for AAA Transformers Transmission Specialists. Bring your foreign or domestic vehicle into AAA Transformers and have our certified master technicians perform the most comprehensive diagnostics over any other shop. AAA Transformers utilizes the latest technology, so you can rest assured that you get the proper diagnosis the first time, so only necessary repairs are made. Save time and money on all your brake, AC, tune-up, and transmission needs, all backed by the best warranty in the business. That's AAA Transformers Transmission Specialists.
When is the last time you have compared your car, life, or health insurance cost? At Advanced Insurance Strategies, we know your time is valuable. Therefore, we have developed AdvancedInsuranceStrategies.com. You can now go online anytime, anywhere, and get quick and easy quotes for your car, life, or health insurance from respected companies such as Blue Cross Blue Shield of Georgia, Assurant Health, Alliant Health Plans, and Drive Insurance from Progressive. Receive unparalleled customer service from a local insurance agency while using AdvancedInsuranceStrategies.com.
Coach Land, Friday night's game, certainly a exciting game.
Absolutely.
A lot of fun, interesting atmosphere, I want to say, down there. That was a beautiful facility, but very generic.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, and it's a public a public use, shared use facility, I guess. So it didn't really have much of a home field advantage for Carver at all, did it?
No, as a matter of fact, I was talking to the coach, and they played like 7 games there this year, and of the 7 games, 4 they were at home. 3 were they were in the other locker room. So it is very generic, but a beautiful stadium.
It is very nice.
A couple of nights before Tuskegee and Fort Valley, I think it played there. So there was some remnants of that it was left over. But no, it was an outstanding facility, and the night was about as good as you could ask for.
Absolutely exciting game. Talk a little bit about the kind of way we break the game down. Let's talk about defense first. Those guys did an excellent job.
They did. I mean, we had talked to the guys before the game, and we said basically we had some keys to victory. And one of the things that we had talked about was we had to have turnovers. We had to have turnovers. Just for the matter of fact that we wanted to give our offense a short field. Second thing that we had talked about, and I think one of the guys referenced it earlier, we wanted to be able to limit their plays to less than 20 yards. They had lived all year on the big play, and we felt like if we could frustrate that and make them drive the ball, that we had a much better chance of being able to play with them. And then the last thing on defense, which we felt was the most significant, is force them into 10-play plus drives. When we did our scouting, they basically had a penalty every 8 to 9 plays, and so with that being the case, we felt like if we could push them to 10, somewhere they'd shoot themselves in the foot, and we see on really 3 drives, that's exactly what happened.
Absolutely. So, I think they ended up with, I don't know, it had to be at least 10, 12 penalties during the course of the game.
And I understand, man, Coach Miles, one of the things, it was, I know it's frustrating for him because it wasn't like it was discipline-type penalties of, holding or a face mask, something like that, or an aggressive penalty. It was, they couldn't get lined up right, or one of the, a couple of times a huddle violation because they run that no huddle and you can't go. So it was crazy, but like I said, we just felt like whatever the case, we had to force them to 10-play drives. Our defense played exceptionally well outside of really the first play, really the counter that he ran for the touchdown. Outside of that, we pretty much limited everything, and I went back and looked, and we didn't have any play over 9 yards in the second half. And, going in at halftime, we really, did we want to be behind? No, but the fact that we had turned the ball over 3 times and the fact that we had 2 penalties that were drive stoppers, at the end of the day, to be down by 7 to that team, we felt good about our chances going back out.
It was interesting kind of from my perspective, sitting in the press box, watching the defensive kind of game plan develop as it went along. Everything started collapsing on the middle of the field, and by the end of the game, I mean, we're locked up in man coverage, and everybody else is in the box.
And that's not a team we normally are going to go man coverage on. You're right. Well, we were going to we knew at least 8 in the box. We would cheat 9 to the box.
I think I saw you out there once.
Well, what it was FROMM, because anytime you got him on the film, half of him's in the box, even if because he's going to try to get in there and make a tackle. So no, we did. We cheated the middle. We were basically selling out to say, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to beat us throwing the ball. And that's what we all do every week to some extent. You try to take away the bread and butter and make somebody beat you with their second hand.
Offensively, wasn't the most productive game that we've had, but that was a pretty tough defense. Those guys lined up.
And you can speak to this better than I can, but talk about just the sheer size that up front. I mean, just their alignment alone took up most of the holes.
It really did. I mean, looking at them on film, I was trying to compare maybe back to like the Altoona defensive front from last year, but once we saw them live and in person, they were even bigger than that.
They
were physically imposing defensive front. And they complicated matters by moving around their alignment, and it was a challenge. I mean, running backs ran hard, they took some shots, and it was just a hard-nosed football game from our perspective. Just trying to scratch out first downs here and there, and put together some drives and be productive.
And here's the thing to me: when I looked at that offensive film, if you take the beginning of the game. And this will be the story this week. If you watch the beginning of the game and the way we're being hit as we're hitting them versus the third quarter and then the fourth quarter, that paradigm had shifted to where we were the ones that were the aggressors. We were the ones that were hitting them. So to me, that's to you coaches and to the players, we were conditioned to do exactly what we need to do to win that game.
Real quick before we wrap up, just say one more thing. The kicking game was outstanding. Those guys kicked it in the end zone every time, kicked the field goal, made both extra points. Just couldn't ask for much more of those guys.
It's a complete game. And, I'm glad we had Coach SUMMERLIN slated on this week because he is such an integral part of that, a vital part of that. But we could even take the kicking one step further. Great snaps by Grant Sane. Right. We've pretty much been error-free there, and our returners caught the ball. We forced a lot of punts. But, it is such a benefit to have those kickers that we have. I mean, when you got a guy that does onside, a guy that kicks off, a guy that's your intermediate field goal kicker, a guy that kicks extra points, and then a guy that's just clutch that you're going to bring in no matter what. That is, that we're blessed. We're blessed. But you said it on the bus ride back. When was the last time our entire kicking game, our entire every kicker and every senior participated on that field, and then whether it's the season or the game? So to me, that's what's made us. That's what's got us to where we're at, and that's what's going to have to take us on.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a quick break. When we come back with more Catamount football in just a minute.
AstroTurf is grateful to have been a part of this community over the last 40 years. And as Whitfield County has grown, AstroTurf has grown to be the leader worldwide in synthetic sports surfaces. Our assistance with the area parks and the new AstroTurf arena will hopefully show the community our appreciation. Soft, safe, and the most durable technology available today, AstroTurf. It's the new generation. This is not your father's AstroTurf.
Welcome back to Catamount Football. We've got our Players of the Game segment. Guys, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Coach Mayo.
All right, Robert, let's start with you down there. Now, talk about Friday night, just kind of your perspective from the positions you played, playing defensive end and then also playing fullback.
On the defensive side of the ball, we the whole game, the whole week, we've been talking about eliminating the big play, and we did not do that the first drive, and they took one about 80 yards and scored. And we turned around. We knew there'd be some adversity in the game, and we turned around and came out in the second quarter and then really the second half, and they didn't score again in the second half. And so we really focused on getting the job done as far as eliminating the big play. And
because talk about that. Explain why the philosophy of eliminating the big play, because that's kind of how they had lived up until that point, right? With big long runs.
And, when you play a team like Carver, who's so athletic and so, really just so much speed on that team, they kind of rely on the big play, and that offense becomes dependent on, breaking a 70-yard run or, something that's just crazy. And when you eliminate that, it kind of deteriorates their offense altogether, and they can't produce as they wish. And you make them drive the ball, and it's eventually they'll make a mistake and beat themselves in some way. And another thing is on the kicking game with Pepe, kicking it into the end zone every time, that's a huge deal. Not letting them return it, not putting them in good field position.
Right.
Because they're a team that's likely to make a big play out of a kickoff.
Talk about their offensive line a little bit. I mean, when you looked at them out there, they were probably got to be the most physical line that we've seen this year, right?
And definitely, and they, they've got, especially their two tackles were two of the best linemen I've played against all year. And
so I think 64 has been offered by most of the schools in the SEC, including Georgia, Florida, Tennessee. I mean,
yes, sir. And I got a big dose of him, and he
he was a heck of a player. Wasn't he?
He was a great player, and he played a good game all night. He played hard all night, and their offensive line, they were one of the stronger points in their offense, and they, my hat's off to them. They played a good game.
How about from the other side, flip around now, perspective, looking at it as fullback, because they presented some challenges for us there too, right?
Yes, they definitely did. Their defense was they were really fast, and so they would get to the hole immediately, and, it was hard to gain more than 4 or 5 yards on any given play. And we had a few errors, a few, times we got stopped where we didn't think we should have, and, we just had to turn around and keep driving, keep grinding. What do you think,
just kind of reflecting back on the game, was maybe a couple of the key points or the key turning points of the game?
I think a big turning point in the game was when we went into halftime. We were down. We come out in the second half, and the defense stops. The defense stops. I think they went 4 downs, and they stopped them on 4th down, and then the offense turned around and scores on the next drive. I think that just showed that we weren't putting our heads down, and we were there to play, and we were there to win.
I think you're right. I think that's a good point. I think you can kind of see a little bit of took some of the wind out of their sails, over on their sidelines from looking down on the press box. Well, congratulations on a great game. You played very well both sides of the ball.
Thank you, Coach
and look forward to another fun one Friday night, right?
That's right, yes, sir.
All right, BJ, now ask you kind of the same set of questions because you have a different view on things, being right in the middle of the action as an offensive lineman. Talk about your perspective on them defensively.
Well, when we went out there, we expected them. We watched film. We expected them to be big. So to actually see them out there, though, was an eye-opener. But, we stayed low. The biggest thing we wanted to work on all week was staying low. And we knew if we stay low, then we could drive them at least, if not off the ball, at least enough to let Kelvis run through the holes. And he did a great job. He was a boy dog all night. They were going for his ankles and, headhunting him in the helmet. And he just kept on going. And we had just so many great plays.
How about one thing, one thing that they did that they had shown us a certain look in their defense we saw on film on the 5 or 6 games we had. They came out Friday night, they gave us a completely different look. They moved their defensive tackles and the way they lined up. I thought you guys did a good job of adjusting. I thought Cole did a nice job of checking to the right place for running trap or some of the other plays we run where we needed to run it to a shade or away from the shade into the 3 technique. Talk about that.
Yeah, we were expecting them to line up when we have a normal set we run through every practice. We know they should be lined up in, but they came out and different stuff. So our offensive line is smart enough to communicate with Cole. If something doesn't look right, we'd say, hey, Cole, check this way, check that way. And he did a great job. We got it done, and we just blocked the plays we were supposed to.
I really think it's a credit to you guys. When a defense does that, the message that they're kind of sending is, we don't think we can line up in our regular defense and stop what you guys do best. So now we've got to make an adjustment. So it puts them in a position that they're maybe a little bit uncomfortable playing where they're not used to playing. I think it's a credit to you guys up front, the way you get after folks.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And also it just proves and shows how, we're going to grow as an offensive line from it. They'll come out in 2 or 3 different fronts, and the fact that we're able to adjust to it's just itself good thing because we know that we have to, Kelvin's still going to hit those holes, so they got to get open somehow. So the fact that we can adjust to that's really, really good.
Yeah. About your point of view as far as the game, I mean, what did you think? were some of the key things some of the key points in the game from your perspective?
Well, at the beginning of the game, we had a lot of things go the wrong way. It seemed, we drove the ball. We had a 60-yard drive somewhere like that, and then we got stopped at the goal line. Then next possession, we come out and have an interception, and just things started to go down. But after that, our defense really stepped up. They made some big stops. We scored, and also that reverse.
That was a big play, wasn't it?
It was.
You were out there holding that block for a long time. Do you think he was ever going to get past you?
I mean, I just was hoping Dale would run by me as soon as possible. So just some big guy versus a fast
versus a real athlete, right? After you trying to stalk him down, you did a great job of getting on him. I mean, that's tough. People don't understand when an offensive lineman gets out in space like that. There's no boundaries. There's no borders. I mean, you've got to get there and get your hands on him and get locked on him. That's a difficult play, isn't it?
Oh, it is. And, you just kind of have to break down and hope. You kind of read the corners to where the ball's going, because if he goes in, he's going to go. The runner's running inside, or if he goes out, he's going to try to run outside. So you just have to try to position yourself to keep him away from the ball carrier.
Mm-hmm. Well, very good. And you played a little defensive line too. Talk about that real quick. You stepped in.
They weren't any smaller on the offensive line. They had great size up there, but Coach Carpenter and Coach Bennett, all week they told us that we're going to be stunting all week. And the plays that I were in, we called A-gap blitzes and B-gap blitzes and stunts. And we were fortunately quick enough to get past them, at least grab an ankle or grab a jersey just enough to have our linebackers come and make the big tackles.
Very good. Good job. Now, Ethan, let's talk to you. You had a little different view on things from the back end of the defense. Talk about your perspective on the game and what you saw back there.
Well, when you're playing defensive back against the receivers, you really get a taste of how fast the receivers are. And they had a lot of speed in their team as well as size, and their outside players were just really fast. So it was a task just to keep up with them. And you have to play, especially playing because we've played teams that have decent speed, but none that have had exceptional speed. So you just got to adjust to the speed of the game. And then once we adjusted to the speed of the game, we shut them out in the second half. And then that's a big thing for us, just because you don't shut them out in the second half, you don't win the game, because we won by a field goal.
Right. Well, you guys had a little bit more of a burden, maybe more so than normal, because as the game went on, Coach Carpenter and the defensive coaches, they just started selling out to the run, and you guys were basically out there locked up in man coverage, right? I mean, it was because the other 8 or 9 guys were crashing the box, and so it was really a do or die thing with you guys on the outside, right?
Mm-hmm. It was just we were putting 9 guys in the box at any given point, and then because they have a great running game, and then we were just trying to stop what they do best, which we did, and then by their last drive, they were forced to pass it, and they couldn't string it together. And it's just the biggest thing is you can't let them have a play. Coach Lamb was saying you can't have a play over 20 yards. You can give them anything short of that, and then we eliminated the big play, which is just we had that one at the very beginning that Hardaway picked up. But
I got to ask you one more question before we wrap up here. I thought you were going to take that fake punt there at the end of the first half. Thought you were going to take that thing to the house. What happened?
Well, I'm obviously not a running back. I could have done it, I think, but then I don't know. I'm more for heading at the guy than heading around the guy. So
that was a long way to go too. It was about 85 or so yards, I think, was where you got the snap on about the 10 or 12 yard line, wasn't it? So you had quite a distance to travel.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming on the show. Y'all did a great job Friday night, and certainly look forward to another fine performance this week against Sandy Creek.
Thank you.
Stay right here. Back with more Catamount football in just a minute.
Wood, $2.99. Wood, $1.59. Set. Mike Jones here, and you better blitz to Carpet Express. We have 3/4-inch hardwood for $2.99 a square foot. We have engineered wood for $1.59 a square foot. And to help you reach your goal to put wood in your home, Carpet Express is offering a 25-cent a square foot rebate. So rush into Carpet Express while supplies last, because everybody's out to get their quarterback.
Have you ever heard the term, your eyes are your expressions, the windows to your soul? But when your eyelids look tired and they start to sag, it will make you look much older than you actually are. There is a simple surgical procedure called a blepharoplasty or eyelid tuck, which can help to rejuvenate and redefine the contours around your eyelids. It will even improve your fields of vision, and a portion may even be covered by insurance. We can help redefine how others see you.
Welcome back to Catamount Football. We've got our coaches segment this week. We've got Coach Brian Summerlin. Coach, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Bill.
Talk a little bit about your duties with the Catamount football team this year.
Well, like every year, I'm responsible for the kickers and punters, that aspect of the game. And we had a great game Friday night. Those guys were ready to play, and they really made a difference for us.
Talk about the guys that you have this year, because it's kind of a unique situation we've got, I guess, four kickers and a couple of different punters and lots of different things going on with the kick game. Talk about those guys.
That's right. We're very deep this year, and that gives us an opportunity to specialize. We've got one guy's the clear punter, Edward Moore, has done a great job all year. Have a true kickoff specialist in Pepe Gardea.
Stop for a second and talk about him. Pepe's got to be the biggest kicker maybe in the state of Georgia, right?
He probably is. He's our version of Sebastian Janikowski. He's a fire and gasoline kind of guy, kicks the ball extremely hard. I didn't run the numbers this morning, but I'm guessing he's about 70% touchbacks on the season. He was 100% Friday night, and that really gave us a chance to win.
That's such a huge advantage. I mean, when you look at the statistics of a team starting on the 20-yard line versus starting on the 30-yard line, it's like 70% different in scoring opportunities from those two different yard lines. It's really an advantage for the team.
It's also a great mental advantage. A team like Carver, that they rely on 29 running kickoffs back, and when he doesn't get a chance to do that really helped our defense. And
he's also got another a weapon in his arsenal on his onside kick.
That's right.
We saw it against Heritage where he actually – it wasn't a fluke. I mean, he was kicking it at the guy, right?
We practiced that, and we hope that kid healed up okay that got hit with the ball. We hope he's going to be okay.
So only got to get a concussion from a kicker.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah. And talk about the rest of the kickers as well.
We got two guys we trust from anywhere on the field kicking field goals, in Kiko Rodriguez and Daniel Palacios. Daniel had a big kick, turned out to be a game winner Friday night. Kiko was perfect on extra points, and it's been a good problem to have all season. Who are we going to put out there? And we just look at the situation, where we are on the field. Sometimes it comes down to how they looked in warm-ups, who goes out there. But we're happy with both those guys. I also got a freshman named Isai Hernandez, who's coming on real strong. He had an onside kick and a game winner, last-second game winner in a JV game. So
he did. I was at that game against Cedartown. Came out there and kicked a 25-yard field goal or so. Just nailed it right through to win the game for the JV kids against Cedartown.
Yeah, we're excited about the future with him.
So how about the development of these guys? I mean, what have you done because a few years ago we were really having difficulty with kicking off, kicking extra points. I mean, you name it, and now it's gone from a weakness to definitely a strength for the team.
Well, it's a feast or famine situation. We've got 5. Eder can place kick. We've got 5 this year that would start on most teams that we play. So like I said, that's given us a chance to specialize. But when they come into the team, we look at their form. And sometimes it's a situation of let's break them totally down and rebuild them. Sometimes with Daniel, they're a senior, and we got to get them on the field, so we work around some form issues and focus on just the basics. So that's what we do.
How about the mental aspect of kicking? I mean, that's such a part of it. I mean, it's part of all sports, but it really seems like those guys sometimes they get in a funk. And how do you handle them mentally?
I try to take them out of the game as much as I can. Kicking, being in the moment, being in the flow of the game absolutely does not help kicking the football. If I could put a bag over their head and earplugs in their ears, I would do it.
I'm all for that. That's a great plan.
I don't want them near the team. I want them on their own on the sidelines. I don't want them to think about it at all.
So just kind of be ready to just go out there and treat it like a practice kick. Is that kind of what you tell them?
Hopefully have repped it so many times in practice that they could do it with their eyes closed.
Right. How about your family, real quick? Touch on them before we wrap up this segment.
My beautiful wife Charlotte and I have a new daughter, relatively new, at home. She's going on 2 years old, and she's keeping us busy. So some late nights, but it's great.
Very good. Well, thanks for everything you do for Catamount football, and look forward to a fine performance this week by the Kickers.
Thanks, Bill.
Stay right here, back with more Catamount football in just a minute.
No problem with the deadline. Yeah, our internet service connection flies now that we have OptiLink.
You're the star with OptiLink from Dalton Utilities. Local customer service, lightning-fast internet, stellar phone and television at affordable rates.
I'd like to thank Mike and Brian and IT for making all of this possible, as well as Helen and personnel and my great OptiLink installer.
Don't you deserve the star treatment? Sign up with OptiLink today.
With OptiLink, I'm the star.
When the diagnosis is cancer.
A restaurant should be more than just a place to eat. Enjoy community, tradition, and unbeatable home-style cooking at the Oakwood Cafe, located in historic downtown Dalton. Our food, fair prices, and friendly staff have made the Oakwood Cafe one of the fastest-growing businesses in Georgia. We offer catering services that can bring our distinctive flavor anywhere. We also provide the opportunity to team up with us through franchising. Whether you're a newcomer or a regular, stop by and have the dining experience you've needed. Come feel at home with us at the Oakwood Cafe.
We got a hit.
Here comes dinner!
I'm not eating that.
There's no place like Outback for our perfectly grilled shrimp and new Royal Port Catch.
I can't believe you guys didn't catch anything.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Train like a pro at Performance Sports Academy. Get one-on-one training from former professional and collegiate players, featuring indoor baseball and softball training facilities, ground ball area, 3 pitching mounds, and 4 batting cages. Performance Sports Academy is also available for team rentals. Call 706-537-3169 today and train like a pro at Performance Sports Academy.
Honesty, integrity, and hard work, leadership, quality, and value. Just a few words to describe the company and people that make up Shaw Industries. Shaw Industries, the world's leading carpet manufacturer, is proud to be a sponsor of Dalton Catamount football. Shaw Industries, where great floors begin.
Welcome back to Catamount Football. We're going to take a look at the highlights from Friday night's game. Coach Land, it was like we were talking earlier, it was a neat atmosphere down there and an interesting facility, right?
Oh, a beautiful facility. It has the Shaw Sport Tex grass, which is what we're going to be getting on our practice field. You know, these guys just really, you could tell they were ready to play in the locker room. You really could tell they were ready to play pregame meal. We'd given them a little time to walk around the farmer's market and kind of get out, and Casey Carpenter at the Oakwood was gracious enough to host us at the Oakwood at the market, which if I'd tell anybody down there, it's a great place to go. Come out with the opening kickoff, and you know, we knew that in special teams that was one way that we had a little advantage to them.
Toss sweep, you can see they very aggressive, but Kelvis does a nice job of getting on the corner and picking up about 20 yards right there. Some tough sledding. There's Hunter Nelson out there taking up the linebacker.
Great job there.
Yep. Good job getting around the corner.
Good job.
So good way to start the game. Coming back with a little trap option look. The way they were playing their defensive ends inside gave us an advantage on that play. Later on, I think we scored a touchdown on it, and that and the toss were pretty good to us. The way they were playing that, they were trying to stop the off tackle belly play.
Right.
You see a shot of our crowd there. Great turnout. Here comes a replay of that. There's Cole going around. Getting some good blocking downfield from Randy, and there's Juan Pacheco down there.
That's something to see 340 pounds getting down on a safety.
He does a good job. There's a trap. That's the linebacker coming through. Typically, our tackles do a great job of getting on these linebackers, but these guys were pretty quick. And there's another toss with Kelvis. Just mishandled the ball, and the linebacker came through and punched the ball out. I don't know.
It was kind of the perfect storm.
It was. It was.
So our defense comes in, and, you know, one of the things that we knew that they were going to try to do to us was just try to get the ball to 29. A lot of counters, and that's exactly what they run right here. They run a little trap to set the play up, come back with the counter. And this young man, you know, you can tell right there by nobody being around him, you know, once he got to going, once his train was going down the tracks, nobody's going to catch him. So we come back, kick off to one of our freshmen that's been helping us this year, Jordan Adams, done a fine job. Gets a good return out, gets the ball out to about the 31-yard line.
Come back, Cole trying to hit Will on the seam there, and that was questionable. After watching it on film several times, he hit Will. The defensive back hit Will, and the ball got tipped up and intercepted.
This is a critical down for us, and Coach Carpenter, Coach Thompson, Coach Bennett, and all of our Coach Pollard, all of our defensive staff did an outstanding job right here talking about, you know, we knew we were going to have an obstacle somewhere, some adversity. We had to come in and get a stop here. And this is a great job of our defense bowing their backs right here. We call it my ball, and going back in and just saying, look, we may not get a turnover, but we've got to stop them here. They can't get any points out of this. We wanted to stay within 7 points regardless of how many they scored. So just a great job of our defense forcing a fourth down. They come back and throw a little pass, and here's Elijah Stidman just making an athletic play, just one of those athletic plays that, you know, sometimes we have our own athletes, and he's one of ours. And he did an outstanding job, and you'll see it right here. Gets great elevation. That's all those RDLs and all that training that Coach Thompson does during the offseason.
That's a great job by the defense of snuffing out a turnover. Good throw and catch right here to Brandon Dale. There's Peter Sigmund getting downfield.
Peter had a good game the other night.
He did. He really did. Played excellent. Peter played a lot with JVs and did a great job, and now he's gotten pressed into service with the varsity and is doing a super job.
That's right.
Good protection, good throw and catch, and you can see pretty smart right there by our downfield blockers of not hitting people in the back.
Yep, not even do anything that's questionable. So great job there.
Toss sweep again. Good job by Hayden Gross getting on the linebacker. Robert Hardaway kicking out the force player, and Kelvis cuts it up.
And that guy would really come. You'll see him. He really didn't care about making a tackle. It's almost like his objective was just try to hit whoever.
Take out the lead blocker.
Take out the lead blocker.
He was looking to blow him up.
Which is a scheme. I mean, that is part of the scheme.
Here's the trap option again. You can see the defensive end or the outside linebacker goes after the pitch man, and Cole does a nice job of just turning it up and finding the end zone. There he goes, cuts it up. 20 was after pitch, and he cut it up for a touchdown.
Great play there. Good to see Jerry Marino in there.
So that put us ahead. They actually missed their extra point.
Right.
So this now puts us up 7-6 still in the first quarter.
Good job of there, Kiko, and we've had Nathan Bryan as we mentioned, and then here comes in the dancing bear.
Yep.
Big Pepe comes in and just gets a boot. What an advantage that is. So our defense now begins to play with a little different philosophy. We you know, at this point, if we had 8 in the box, then we said, all right, we're going to get 9 in the box, and we committed to that, and you know, once we began to kind of realize the flow of the game and our kids got used to the speed of the game, you know, we got some great hits. This might have been one of the best games Jay Rockholt played all year. He made multiple tackles, firing from the backside, flipping over and playing against the grain. Just a great job. Leighton Reese, another one that had just an outstanding. In fact, there's a play later on in the second half that just, I think, set the tone for us in the second half. Once again, you see a great job of these guys. And, you know, here's the thing about – now, right there is a perfect example. You see Keener laying on his back. That right there wasn't a pancake. Keener got that double team, and he just sets down in the hole right there. Does a great job of making that guy now have to make a decision. Great job there. You see Rockholt coming in right there, and you see some of your offensive guys are stepping over and having to help us right there as well. So, you know, a couple of these guys, it was a brutal game. Some of these guys were going out with ankles or, you know, on both sides and just kept fighting. We had our own share.
We had our own share. People getting knocked around.
Yeah, so
it's a hard-hitting football game.
Absolutely. Great job right here. Coach called a pinch. We just knew they were going to run inside, and you see all those guys just basically converge down. Come back here on a critical down and throw a pass, and Eder is a fourth down. Eder makes an outstanding break on the ball right there, flips the ball over on downs. You'll see it right here. He just makes a break, leaves that out guy open, and comes back. That's the same pass they tried to throw on the other side to Elijah's side. They just ran it to the
more
to the
fourth
three.
down plays than I remember than any game.
Oh, yeah,
a
yeah.
long time. Here it
No
comes back
doubt.
with the toss again. Jerry Moreno in for Kelvis. Kelvis got dinged up a little bit, and Jerry did a nice job. You see him pulling on the football right there, and Jerry's just hanging on to it.
They were ball
Fourth
hawks.
down play. Unfortunately, we did not get a first down here. They loaded up the A gaps and had those two big bodies in there, and just we really didn't get much push at all and turned it over on downs.
Come back and they tried to run that same counter that they scored on, and we made it a little adjustment after the first one that gave us a little advantage. And you see right there, they were actually running the counter with the fullback, kind of similar to the way we do. And it was just a great job of our linebackers reading. You see Elijah coming off right here. This wasn't a blitz. This was just Elijah reading his keys. Great job of Coach Thompson this week working on those. And you see, I mean, they took you to the end of the buzzer. Come back and run just a little bootleg, and we were sold out on the run and did a good job of finding the tight end in the corner of the end zone. And come back and they wound up getting their running a similar play in order to get the 2-point conversion. And then right here, we wound up with a fourth down on with about 13 seconds left. I mean, with about 3 seconds left.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, about 3 seconds left, and we just thought, hey, we got to burn time. Forget whether or not we get it at this point. We just put in a little fake, and Ethan took it.
It looked like he was going to score there for a second.
I was getting excited. I thought, wow, man, that's great.
Take a quick break, and we'll be back with more second half highlights in just a minute.
Got car problems? That's no problem for AAA Transformers Transmission Specialists. Bring your foreign or domestic vehicle into AAA Transformers and have our certified master technicians perform the most comprehensive diagnostics over any other shop. AAA Transformers utilizes the latest technology, so you can rest assured that you get the proper diagnosis the first time, so only necessary repairs are made. Save time and money on all your brake, AC, tune-up, and transmission needs, all backed by the best warranty in the business. That's AAA Transformers Transmission Specialists.
When is the last time you have compared your car, life, or health insurance cost? At Advanced Insurance Strategies, we know your time is valuable. Therefore, we have developed AdvancedInsuranceStrategies.com. You can now go online anytime, anywhere, and get quick and easy quotes for your car, life, or health insurance from respected companies such as Blue Cross Blue Shield of Georgia, Assurant Health, Alliant Health Plans, and Drive Insurance from Progressive. Receive unparalleled customer service from a local insurance agency while using AdvancedInsuranceStrategies.com.
AstroTurf is grateful to have been a part of this community over the last 40 years. And as Whitfield County has grown, AstroTurf has grown to be the leader worldwide in synthetic sports surfaces. Our assistance with the area parks and the new AstroTurf arena will hopefully show the community our appreciation. Soft, safe, and the most durable technology available today, AstroTurf, it's the new generation. This is not your father's AstroTurf.
Well, Coach, back with the second half highlights. Halftime made a few adjustments, talked about a few things, and came back out here ready for a big second half. Started a great way.
What a great
Another
way.
kick in the end zone.
And, these guys get so into him making that, going out there to kick. And, of course, you hear it.
Right.
That's one thing, it's like a shotgun going off. Right here, what's Leighton right here? This is the play. That's the one that I was talking about earlier. Just a great job right there of Leighton just collapsing that tackle down. And that's a guy that's a D1 guy that's just right here. This is Eder just being Eder. Great job of Rocco coming up and stopping him, and Eder coming in just being a little bit of a ball hawk, and you'll see it. They run a little quick screen, and Eder, right here's the tackle, and Eder just strips him and holds on to the ball. That's what was amazing about it. So just a great play by our defense.
Too. Look at the sidelines.
Absolutely.
I mean,
this is one of the more emotional games I think we've had, and you'll see the slow motion. Eder just strips him right there and grabs it. I mean,
picks his pocket.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Here comes the toss. There's Hardaway out in front and Jerry Moreno in there. Jerry got a lot of playing time because Kelvis got his ankle dinged again.
Well, Jerry's tough,
Yeah,
and
he
we
sure
can
is.
relate. We can depend on Jerry.
Here's Robert Hardaway on the trap, just rumbling right up the middle. Good trap block by Hunter Nelson right there. You can see Robert just getting after some folks. 2 hands on the football. So this is a good drive going. This is something we saw them do when we lined up a particular way. They failed to cover our inside receivers, so we called the play, took advantage of it, and ended up getting a touchdown out of it. So nice throw and catch right there, good protection.
And just a solid kicking again, as we stated. You know, they're just so good to have a good holder, good snapper. And this shutout that our defense pitched in the second half was so critical. But we had a penalty, and this is a great effort play right here. We had a penalty after the score. We have to move the ball back 15 yards. We're kicking the ball from the 25-yard line, and this young man kicks it deep enough for us to be able to get down there.
They got
and
it
hold
at the
him.
22.
Yeah, that's amazing. It
So
is
they
amazing.
were 2 yards up.
Exactly. Great job right here, Robert Hardaway on the backside, just basically whipping his man, who's a lot bigger than him, and making the play. But they had some big old boys, didn't they?
They sure did.
Great job of reading. Once again, you see Rockhold in there, Marlowe. This game right here for Ethan Marlowe was just an amazing game. I don't know if he's in on maybe 2 or 3 tackles, maybe, but the fact that he took up multiple blockers every play. So they come out with a punt, and
we got a penalty for hitting a snapper.
Yeah, and it's one that I want. It is what it is.
Yep.
We'll just have to agree to disagree, maybe. But anyhow, that's all right. It moved the chains down for them, and they picked up a first down and come back, and we're able to force the young man out of bounds on a key third down. Come back, and of course this time we get a little more pressure on him and get kind of a Peter. I love the way our kids now get away. They know what that means. We have to remind them, it seems like about every 2 weeks, but I see it on Saturdays.
Here comes the reverse. This is a good call by Coach Napier, and look at effort by BJ down out there. That's a tough play for an offensive lineman out in space like that, and a really good run by Brandon Dale, getting the ball down to about the 17, 18-yard line before he got pushed out of bounds. I'm sure Brandon will have a replay here.
Yeah.
Here he comes right at the camera. You can see those guys getting out in front and blocking. There's Hunter Nelson, Randy Nguyen down there, Eder, lots of folks downfield, and just a good run. Good job of running the reverse by Brandon. Setting us up with a scoring opportunity. Certainly would have liked to have made a touchdown here, but weren't able to, and kicked a 35-yard field goal.
Yeah, and just a great kick right here.
Being good from 45.
He didn't leave anything to be desired. I mean, anything to chance. Just kick that thing straight through, good height. Great fans. I mean, like I said, just phenomenal crowd there. And, at that point, I don't think any of us felt like that'd be the last point scored in this game. But once again, a great kickoff, and I just get so excited seeing those guys get excited about something like that. That's a very important part of the game. We get great pressure here. Hardaway and Rocco, they were on him all night long. Leighton Reese, Ethan Marlowe doing a great job there, holding the fort. And,
yeah, this is kind of where their philosophy got to them. They're such a run team, and their offensive line did such a great job of running the ball.
Yep.
But they were not very good at pass protection.
No, they weren't, and they've not done it that much. And we had some opportunities. Because of what they're doing. And I talked with the coaches from Marist the week earlier, and, one of the things that we talked about was, if you can just get them to where they're throwing the ball, that's not their bag of tricks. So a great job of our defensive staff of taking advantage of that once we kind of felt like we got into that that area. What a great call right here.
Screen pass.
Perfect timing on this,
They were really selling out and rushing, and that picked up a good first down for us. It sure would have been nice offensively if we could have put another score on the board here and kind of –
Great block by Hayden Gross.
Yep, good block by Hayden. Put the thing out of reach, but you got to give their defense a lot of credit. I mean, they were able to bow their backs and hold us and force us to kick it. But great job by Eder and put him down on about the 12-yard line.
Yep, and this right here, this was a critical set right here of downs, because this is where, they began to move the ball some. They were mixing up, even though they were running, they'd be going back to a draw and a little zone read play. just a great job right here of Nathan Bryant and Ethan Fromm getting over there and knocking that ball down. And that's one of the things we talked about was just don't even try to intercept it if you don't feel comfortable, but just get the ball out of their hands. They're so athletic, Come back and just so fitting. This last sack right here wound up being Robert Hardaway. Just played his butt off on both sides. Jake Roberts is in there. This is a great team. Athletically, we'll let the record speak for itself, and we'll let people think what they want. But this team loves each other, and they sell out for each other, and they trust each other, have a belief in each other. And, we're just going to see how far that will get us. But what a great, just a great celebration to see our kids and our coaches. Some of our coaches we're going to have to work out during the off season. That game exposed our conditioning, I'm afraid.
Coming back, just trying to run out the clock and pick up a first down here towards the end of the game, and you see got 2 tight ends, and that was the last play, and there goes the final seconds ticking off the clock, and we had to make our way from Mount Everest up there at the press box. That was way
Y'all started about the end of the third quarter,
Absolutely.
didn't you? What a great job. You see just our kids and opportunity they had to just really get out there and this is, I've heard this is the first win and, so many years, whatever. These guys, it was just another game to them, but it was an important game to them. It was just exciting to see them, and our fans were just outstanding, man. They were there, and we're just celebrating with these guys, and, that after the field moment that they all got to share with their families and with the student body and, the band and cheerleaders was just really, really awesome. You see such excitement out of these guys, and, there's certain spoils that go with making the playoffs, and these guys certainly got to enjoy it riding the bus and the charter buses.
I was going to say, the quarterback club makes it a great experience for our kids. I mean, our
it
guys
is so
are on
unique.
Charter buses going down and having pregame meal at the Oakwood there in Forest Park, and then the reception after the game, and the fact that they have food for them after the game.
Yeah.
I mean, just those guys, the quarterback club, they do a great job of making it a unique experience for our kids.
Well, and then
this is the way you leave when you're in college.
That's exactly right. That's what I was going to say. This is exactly what I remember at Auburn. And I know you did at Tennessee. I mean, and just everybody's so excited. You see Marvin there, and this is the key. That's right.
Coach Carpenter eating his grilled chicken. It's not grilled.
No,
the big fried chicken that Coach Carpenter and Coach Thompson are enjoying there.
That's right.
Before they got on the bus to go home.
That's right.
All right. Well, that's the end of the highlights. Great game.
Wood, $2.99. Wood, $1.59. Set. Mike Jones here, and you better blitz to Carpet Express. We have 3/4-inch hardwood for $2.99 a square foot. We have engineered wood for $1.59 a square foot. And to help you reach your goal to put wood in your home, Carpet Express is offering a 25-cent a square foot rebate. So rush into Carpet Express while supplies last, because everybody's out to get their quarterback.
Have you ever heard the term, your eyes are your expressions, the windows to your soul? But when your eyelids look tired and they start to sag, it will make you look much older than you actually are. There is a simple surgical procedure called a blepharoplasty or eyelid tuck, which can help to rejuvenate and redefine the contours around your eyelids. It will even improve your fields of vision, and a portion may even be covered by insurance. We can help redefine how others see you.
No, I'm not at home today. No, now I can have all of my phone calls forwarded and do all kinds of cool things now that I've signed up with OptiLink.
You're the star with OptiLink from Dalton Utilities. Local customer service, lightning fast internet, stellar phone and television at affordable rates.
I'd like to thank my mom and my friend Cassie and the phone guy from OptiLink.
Don't you deserve the star treatment? Sign up with OptiLink today.
With OptiLink, I'm the star.
At Hamilton, quality drives everything we do.
Welcome back to Catamount Football. Coach Land, let's talk a little bit about the opponent for this week in the second round of the playoffs, the Sandy Creek Patriots. Certainly a fine football team. Look at them on film. They got some guys.
We'd like to have a couple. That'd be nice. They've got
some guys.
They've got a plethora.
If you want to see a future SEC star, just go watch Sandy Creek.
That's exactly
right?
Yeah, exactly. And they're layered. You can watch some that are seniors, some that are juniors, and
some that are sophomores.
Some that are sophomores. Yeah, Sandy Creek is an outstanding team, and everybody talks about their athletes. But I think you'd be remiss if you started there. I think where it starts is with Coach Walker and his staff. They're an outstanding coaching staff. This is a state championship coaching staff. Coach Walker's father, Rodney Walker, is a state champion coach as well. He's at Mary Persons, and they're one of the final 16 teams. So, I'm sure they're playing for a Bowden Bowl down the road somewhere. But, at the end of the day, it is the athletes. And they just have watching film yesterday morning and just kind of perusing their website and ESPN's website and, Max Prep and all of them. They're really a special team, and they're, obviously they're ranked number one, been ranked number one the whole season, all of last year, and then nationally ranked. But, hey, they put their pants on like us, and they can only play 11, so they may have, 20 D1 guys, and only 11 going to get going at the same time.
It pains me to say this, but watching them on film and just thinking about where they are and how they're doing people, it kind of reminds me of our team my senior year. We had 3 or 4 SEC football players. We dominated people throughout the season, just smashed them left and right, and then just lost in the playoffs. Inexplicably. Teams like that, I guess I'm saying that to say teams like that, they look so great, but they're not unbeatable, right?
No, and you can't get caught up in the media. Most of the media has never been in sports, so they don't know what they're writing about. Are they writing about a guy that's pretty? Are they writing about a guy that, we're going to look out there right now, we're going to see an offensive line of scrimmage that the shortest guy 6'2", 280, and is very physical and agile, with their biggest guy, 6'5", 293 or whatever it is, it's already committed.
South Carolina.
Yeah, exactly. South Carolina. Do you get caught up in that? Because sure, man, they got a lot of that, and they've got 3 guys that are that play receiver. One plays DB for them, and they're special guys. But you watch the film, and Coach Walker, he and I were talking Friday night after the game. There's things they don't do well. So what we got to do is we got to dig in that film, and we're going to find what they don't do well, what gives us the greatest opportunity. Our kids will play hard, but beyond that, I know our kids expect to win, and that's the way we're going to prepare. And looking at this team, I like our chances because we've not played our best football yet. We went and beat a good team this week and still had penalties, still had turnovers. So we're going to keep working on Dalton. That's been our formula all year long, and it's got us to where we're at right now. And we're going to work on Dalton on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll begin working on Sandy Creek and seeing what they're doing. And, I feel confident that we'll have a game plan that gives our kids the best opportunity. And like I said, we'll go down and expect to win, and we'll go from there.
Very good. We'll be back with more Catamount football in just a minute.
A restaurant should be more than just a place to eat. Enjoy community, tradition, and unbeatable home-style cooking at the Oakwood Cafe, located in historic downtown Dalton. Our food, fair prices, and friendly staff have made the Oakwood Cafe one of the fastest-growing businesses in Georgia. We offer catering services that can bring our distinctive flavor anywhere. We also provide the opportunity to team up with us through franchising. Whether you're a newcomer or a regular, stop by and have the dining experience you've needed. Come feel at home with us at the Oakwood Cafe.
Train like a pro at Performance Sports Academy. Get one-on-one training from former professional and collegiate players, featuring indoor baseball and softball training facilities, ground ball area, 3 pitching mounds, and 4 batting cages. Performance Sports Academy is also available for team rentals. Call 706-537-3169 today and train like a pro at Performance Sports Academy.
Honesty, integrity, and hard work, leadership, quality, and value. Just a few words to describe the company and people that make up Shaw Industries. Shaw Industries, the world's leading carpet manufacturer, is proud to be a sponsor of Dalton Catamount football. Shaw Industries, where great floors begin.
Coach, we've come to the end of another show and got to do some little housekeeping, cleanup, wrap-up type things here. First off, it's great to be playing football the week of Thanksgiving, right?
Turkey ball. We've talked about that. Was our third goal that we had set out, on our team goal list, and I'm proud of these guys for achieving that goal.
Kids are out of school this week, so talk a little bit about the schedule and some of the events that are going to go on this week.
Yeah, we'll be practicing basically from 9 to 12, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, with Wednesday night being steak dinners. And we'll have quarterback club on Monday night as normal. I think we'll probably be moving it to 6:30, but we'll have to see. This will air after that. And then Thursday we'll have basically our team walk through and kind of work out from 9:30 to 10:45. That'll allow the kids to have Thanksgiving lunch at Mama's house or wherever it's going to be. And then Thursday night, it was so exciting this week. And I want to thank our administration, and we'll be doing it again this week. 7:30 bonfire. Burning down the field. So
you're going to have to go a long way to come up with a better speaker. Coach Chappell was gracious enough last week to come and talk to the kids.
What an honor.
It was just kind of neat to hear him address the team again and
absolutely
be a part of that.
Well, just really seeing those guys because we'd not told him that he was going to be speaking, and just watching those guys when they announced him as the speaker just really got those guys excited, and some of those guys were even talking about it before the pregame. Some things he said. So, I appreciate Coach Chappell and his support and he being out there to help us and Riggs Isaac and our band and all the parents. We want to invite more people out this week. It'll be 7:30 at the track, and we'll see those guys out there. And then we'll come back on Friday. We'll practice. Basically, we'll have a little walkthrough and some biscuits that morning from 9 to probably 10 o'clock, 10:30. And then we'll be reporting back at the school at 1 o'clock. We'll be leaving around 1:30. And from that point, let's go beat Sandy Creek. Beat the Creek week, I think.
And it's not a far drive. I mean, that's the one thing people need to understand. It's not like we're going down to South Georgia. It's really an easy drive, down 75, down 85, maybe about 90 miles, 95 miles or so from here.
And only about a couple of miles off the interstate, so you're right there, right off the interstate.
Love to invite, have a lot of fans show up and have some great support. We had a great crowd for Carver. Love to have a bigger crowd this week for Sandy Creek.
Coach from Carver said that's the largest crowd that they'd seen in the stadium on either side the whole year. So that was interesting. So.
All right. Well, very good. Well, saying that, we'll wrap up the show like we always do and say we'll be back next week, same cat time, same cat channel.
Go Big Red.